Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Nick here, back with a brand new video. So today, like I mentioned, was a very important day for crypto. Now, I will say right now that tomorrow is going to be even more massive, right? So, we were talking about a few things in terms of the overall close today, today being the weekly close. Now, of course, tomorrow is the monthly close, which is why, tomorrow could be absolutely massive because there's a few targets to really look for in terms of Bitcoin, as well as kind of just like the overall market, right? Because even if we do get, a close on, Bitcoin at like even 35K or something like that, nothing like that would be bullish for me personally, right? And we'll get more into the overall idea of that. And right now, you guys are seeing Ethereum on my screen, right? And why are we seeing Ethereum on my screen? Because I never talk about Ethereum. It's none of my major holdings or anything like that. I actually sold most of my Ethereum at around 3,800. Which, hey, a lot of people will say, why did you? I mean, listen. At the end of the day, the gains that I could get on other alts, right? For an example, like HBAR, right? Is a lot more, of a better return than, for an example, if I hold Ethereum to 10K, right? So I'd rather, sell and put the profits into something else and get better returns overall. But nonetheless, the reason why I have Ethereum on my screen, you guys see this, we're trailing above the EMA, right? Ethereum has not broken down into bearish, pretty much territory at all, right? Even if we look at this dip here on the 17th, which was, a major corrective state, we only hit that $1,700 level. So currently, right now, Ethereum looks incredible. It looks like it's ready to pretty much go for another run. And honestly, if we zoom out a little bit on this chart, because this is the 1 week, right? This looks absolutely bullish, right? This looks incredible. Looks like we're still on an upward swing, especially on the EMA, right? We haven't broken down below it at all. Again, even if we go back, right? Because I like to bring up the 2020 crash of March. That was when our last break of the EMA was, right? And we still didn't even break it here on this dip, which is why I'm still very bullish overall on this entire market cycle, as well as kind of micro bullish on Ethereum. As this isn't one of my major holdings, so yeah, this is still very bullish in my opinion for a push up. But I thought this was very interesting because we actually had an incredible overall weekly close on Ethereum, right? It pretty much regained the grounds from the pre-pump back in April. So right now, I think this looks incredible. I think Ethereum is ready to go to that, $10K mark. Me personally, a more realistic standpoint would be 7,500 to about 8,500, right? But yeah, I think 10K is very possible for Ethereum overall. But nonetheless, let's look at Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the one that we're really trying to talk about here because Bitcoin did get a good weekly close. We almost closed at 36K. Granted, we really couldn't hit it, and we really couldn't pretty much close over it. Now, me personally, what I will be looking forward to seeing tomorrow is a close about at 37K, right? Because I want to see 37K reclaimed. Again, that'll put us, a little bit under our original 38K target, which is totally fine. 37.5K, 37K is totally fine for me. Even a close at about 36.5K would put us in good standing overall for an inverted hammer on the overall pretty much price chart, right? Because, even if we come down to this bottom price here, we're still looking good, Even if we go to the 1 day, in terms of where we are at, this chart looks like a pretty good turning point that we're going to be seeing here, right? And that's why I think tomorrow is a major point for us. Now, of course, if we go back to the 1 week chart, we still are looking bullish in terms of the overall price point for Bitcoin. Let me zoom in here real quick, 1 second. So if we see here, we're reclaiming zones, right? We're reclaiming pre-pump zones. Like for an example, we're claiming this February 1st level here before we went parabolic to 65K almost. And right now we're still looking good for an overall reclaim of that 38K level. Now, I think once 38K is reclaimed, we obviously have to retest some resistance water because, right now, That's the biggest question here is, hey, when we do get to these high levels, what's going to happen next? Because we do still need to break that 41K resistance, and there's also a ton of resistance at 42K as we, pretty much noticed previously. So for me personally, to really flip majorly bullish, because things still look a little bearish here overall. I will completely admit that. I'm not gonna, take away the realistic factor overall in terms of Bitcoin, because right now price action does look a little, daunting overall. So me personally, I'm still looking for that 45K mark to be broken. That will put us above the EMA because we need to really reclaim this EMA level here. On the 1-day chart, we could really kind of see it. Overall, we're really trailing below it. But like I said, once we reclaim that 45K zone, we close above it, or I should say we pretty much pull above it, I should say, instead of closing above it, because a close above the EMA would be massive. Hopefully we do close above the EMA, that would be awesome, but I don't see it happening on Monday, well, tomorrow technically. I see that happening sometime probably about 2 weeks from now or so. Again, who knows what happens? This is crypto, extremely volatile, so we could see a close above 45K by Friday. It all depends on really price action. Of course, I will keep you guys updated, as I always do. But like I said, we really need to reclaim that 45K level, and that will push us higher into that 48K mark to really reclaim the 52K level that I have mentioned here. Now, again, not much has changed on this chart overall, but we are hitting decent targets. We're still looking good for a pullback up into those higher levels. So basically what I'm saying here is, we are still looking good in terms of a bullishness, in terms of a bull run, but we are still on a bearish kind of price point average right now. So technically speaking, price could do pretty much anything here. I'm still expecting a bounce off of 33.5K. I would not be surprised if we get sort of impulse down to that 30K level to really reclaim it, but overall I'm not seeing it. It's just something that I do think is still possible, but it looks like we are in sort of almost an inverted hammer, if you will say, pattern right now. Now, of course, we have bounced off of that 33.5K support level. Nearly, it was like $33,333. But like I said, I still think that we are looking good overall. I am expecting that 38K level to be breached very soon. Hopefully tomorrow's close will put us above, 37.5K, or at least 36.5K at the least. But I do expect a little bit of a volatile price action tomorrow, as Mondays are typically bloody. Now, in terms of Bitcoin dominance, we are still trailing below the EMA. Perfectly great for us overall, because we don't want the EMA to be broken on Bitcoin dominance. We want it to be broken on Bitcoin overall, but right now we kind of want this to trail below this, which allows us to have lower dominance scale levels. Basically, all this means, if anybody is new here, of course, I try to give you guys as much knowledge as possible. Basically, Bitcoin dominance means the percentage at which Bitcoin is really overwhelming the alts. So the alts will basically be trading under Bitcoin's wing. When Bitcoin falls, pretty much alts fall even harder, and when Bitcoin pumps, alts pretty much pump harder as well. So I just thought it would be interesting to really introduce you guys to this EMA chart on Bitcoin dominance, because we are trailing below it, which means we could go much lower in terms of Bitcoin dominance. Of course, if we break this EMA level and go above it, that means we could range a little bit higher. We did test that almost 50 level here. Again, that was impulse from Bitcoin really ranging lower and crashing. So hard to tell where we're going to go with this in terms of PA on Bitcoin, but I still think that we go much lower on Bitcoin dominance very soon. Of course, that will introduce us to the full-on bull run, but yeah, I thought that was interesting to really look at. Also, some interesting news is the dollar right now is trailing below the EMA as well. Very good for us, very bullish overall. Again, the US dollar, when it ranges higher, it really means lower prices for cryptocurrencies. So this being under the EMA, which is drastically under the EMA, technically, is very good for us. It means that the dollar could go lower. I am expecting us to reclaim these low 89.5 levels very soon as well, with the $6 trillion bill coming out very soon, which is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, everything's looking good overall. Now, what does that mean for most alts? Like, for an example, XRP, right? Because XRP is almost back at a 90 cent pretty much range, which we did claim almost $1 today. which is really good. Now, I do have two levels here, right? Because we are trading under the EMA on most alts, XRP being one of them, right? I need to see $1.20 be closed above, which would close us above the EMA overall. Now, I'm expecting $1.20 to be closed above, again, by that June 18th zone. Might not take that long, but that's the recovery state, right? That 18th of June, which would bring us to about here, right? Where my cursor is. Now, overall, we only need, technically, from our current zone to the 18th, about 18 days overall. Now, in terms of price point, from our current level to hit that zone would be about a 34% increase in price. I think that's very achievable in 18 days. It will probably happen sooner than expected. That's usually how things go, but also the case is looking very juicy for Ripple overall, and we'll go into that more tomorrow. I do plan on uploading a video in terms of that and really giving you guys an update. I might be a little late on it, but hey, it is what it is. I will keep you guys informed overall. But yeah, I mean, everything's looking pretty good. Yeah, we are trading under the EMA on most alts, even HBAR, right? If we look at HBAR, we're still under the EMA drastically. Now we're kind of in this chop level of, 22.8 and almost like 18.5. I don't think that 18.5 will be reclaimed. Mostly our support level here, and let me actually draw a new horizontal line here. Mainly our support level is around this 20-cent mark, like around here. Actually, just a little bit lower, so it's around right there. So around that 19.6 level, which we kind of breached a little bit. Overall, this is our little support zone. I would say this is our like chop zone overall for HBAR. So a break above, 22, almost 23 cents would be decent, which would bring us back into that, upward trend, which would essentially break this EMA at some point in time to really reclaim that 28-cent mark overall. Again, that 28-cent mark will not be resistance overall. I think once we reclaim, 25 cents, I think that will be pretty much good to go in terms of HBAR. Again, this is going to be a little bit of a longer hold. Overall, it's going to consolidate for a little bit of time still. But like I said, we're still in this, horrific accumulation zone, but it allows us to have more buying opportunities and accumulation period as well. But like I said, XRP $1.20. Overall, I'd love to see $1.20 happen very soon. HBAR, that 25-cent mark would be great to really achieve, and then go to that 28-cent mark to really reclaim EMA. That EMA is very important overall for both of these alts to really reclaim, but Bitcoin itself really needs to reclaim the EMA. We really need to get to that 45K mark very soon. It's going to take us a little bit of time, though. I will be completely honest with you guys. I will be transparent. It might take us until that June 18th time period. I know that a lot of people won't like to hear that, but it is what it is. This is a slow game at the moment, right? Because this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. If you guys think it is, then you are in the wrong game right now. So we really got to just play the cards that we're dealt right now currently and see what happens. But overall, everything is still looking good. The bull run is not yet started, and it's not yet done at all either. So still looking good. Nonetheless, if you guys do want more free knowledge, though, you guys could follow me on Twitter at NCashOfficial. If you guys want more as well, you can join the Discord down in the description below for free. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications on. This has been Nick. I hope that you guys are having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. Peace out.